Today on FCT Environment Update, we meet partners for a sustainable environment in the FCT. A Port Harcourt-based waste management expert, Mr. Alex Erokosima, has called on residents of Port Harcourt Metropolis to imbibe proper waste management culture. He said materials such as polythene bags, which were non-degradable, could be recycled if the state government could assist by setting up a recycling plant. Concern Universal, a British organization pioneering programs of environment, water and sanitation in Nigeria, has embarked on projects to save mangrove habitats in major riverine areas. The organization's program coordinator says restoration and conservation plans were in top gear to reduce the growth of destructive Nipah palms said to be fast overtaking the mangroves. The focus was on Cross River State, the base station for the organization's operations in Nigeria.
Abuja is a beautiful city and the preferred tourist destination in Africa. Let us keep our environment clean by trimming flowers and cutting grass around us regularly. Dispose of our refuse in waste bins and stop all forms of environmental pollution because they are injurious to our health. Report bleeding manhole to the appropriate authorities and disease from illegal connection to sewage lines. Hawking, trading, and begging on the streets of Abuja are prohibited. So also is prostitution. Do not harass AEPB staff members in the line of duty. If you are caught, you will face the law. If we cultivate a culture of a clean environment and pay our environmental service charge promptly, Abuja will remain the pride of all Nigerians.
This message is proudly sponsored by the FCT United Nations Development Assistance Framework UNDAF 2. The Abuja Environmental Protection Board continuously seeks collaboration from corporate organizations and indeed every resident in Abuja for a sustainable environment. This is in a bid to ensure a healthy business environment and an environmentally stable nation's capital. Several corporate organizations, non-governmental organizations, faith-based organizations, and well-meaning individuals have partnered with the AEPB to ensure it carries out its core mandate of protecting the Abuja environment. The Optimum Women and Youth Empowerment Foundation, a non-governmental organization, had to jettison some of its objectives to fulfill a greater calling. They joined forces with the AEPB to embark on aggressive and vigorous sensitization in Jahi Village, where the environmental situation was beginning to become a major health disaster waiting to happen.
Okay, why we went to Jahi community in the first place was to train the women and the youth there on skill acquisition and capacity building. But on getting there, we realized that there was so much environmental issues that we could not ignore. For instance, most of the houses they had no toilets, so there was open defecation everywhere, indiscriminate dumping of refuse, stagnant water, and the air was polluted badly. So we had to talk to the community head, the chief of the community, that there was need for us to help them create awareness and sensitize the people, not just the women and the youths now, but the people entirely, the residents of that community, on the needs to keep their environment clean and healthy. He approved of it. We got in touch with the Abuja Environmental Protection Agency and some other organizations. They supported us and went all the way. But the good thing now is that if you go to that community, you see all of them building toilets now. They are doing everything possible to keep their environments clean. And now we are having, but that was the sensitization was the first phase. Now we are going into the second phase, which is to evacuate the refuse there. We are still having meetings with residents of the community because we have to carry them along. But they are the ones that will sustain these projects. Even after we have left the community, they will be the one to carry it on. So right now we are talking with them on how to organize the youth in that community, and then with collaboration from Abuja Environmental Protection Board would move all the refuse from that place to where they are supposed to be dumped. My motivation actually was the need to keep our environment clean. I discovered that most times when we go for programs, women especially and children have this issue of keeping their environment clean. It has become a big problem. Children have died as a result of that. And we all know that there's nobody that can live without the environment. Communities depend on the environment for their survival. So we had to do that because we know that the environment is life. Everything about the environment, the air we breathe in, the vegetables, everything is about daily existence, what we need to survive. So there is this need for us to always keep our environment clean. And we have to sustain that cleanliness. So we go to communities to talk to them about the need to keep a clean and a healthy environment, the importance of doing this, and the need to imbibe good hygienic practice. So I'm doing that from communities to community, and we are glad that Abuja Environmental Protection Board have been there for us. They've partnered with us. They have helped us to achieve our purpose in this area. I really appreciate their efforts.
Another organization that is partnering with the Abuja Environmental Protection Board in reaching city slums to seek an improvement in their sanitation and environmental orientation is the National Youth Service Corps NYSC through its MDG's Community Development Group. They led by example in Abuja Village to motivate the residents of the community to take urgent care of their environment, which was deteriorating fast.
We are concerned about the environment. And environment is very key in MDG goals. Sustainable environments where we can create a healthy place where people can live in and all that survive. We notice in our environment, most of the places where we have this careless attitude about it, how we dispose wastes, and we go about our daily business. We don't even care about the impact we are making on the environment. So we as a community development group decided to embark on projects in Kabusa as a group. Sometimes back, I will clear up the place, the marketplace, provide them with sanitation tips and how to dispose their waste. Show that we led by example. We didn't just go there to talk about sanitation without we showing them how to. We have to gather the waste together, and no AEPB don't allow burning of wastes, which is it has a way of kind of moving off fumes. So we have to collect them together and at destination points provided by AEPB. And basically, and there's this project we did in Tasha, and part of it is a library project, but we decided that it's not good that our environment is not safe. So me on a personal project, I went out to the community, spoke with the wards, and they went on their own to clear up the day. I was so impressed. They went out on their own, the family men, on Sunday afternoon, took cutlasses and started cleaning up the day. People were looking so clean. And I told them, because this is your environment, if you keep this thing out there, the air coming out from there will enter your home palace. So they were more responsible because they felt it affects them directly. So if we have this personal responsibility about the environment, I think make things a lot safer and better for us.
Recently, AECO Pension Managers Limited presented 100 customized jumpsuits to AEPB's cleaners as part of the company's corporate social responsibility. AECO is a company that believes it has a responsibility to the society and the natural environment where it operates.
By having a very strong corporate social responsibility act done to the society, we find that in the long run it comes back to us as a company. AEPB is a body that takes care of cleanness and order in our nation's capital. So we find out that if we help them, it will be immediately seen. And surely, if you can see a clean street where there is order, will lessen crime. There are studies all over the world that show a clean street actually makes people to be more comfortable. Where a street is strewn with litters, everybody doing whatever he likes, keeping old vehicles all over, will immediately bring fear to people. And Abuja is our nation's gateway. Visitors, investors coming in, seeing the street will first give them an impression. So AECO Pension Manager sees that by helping Abuja Environmental will actually further our corporate responsibility act. Our management actually knows that we are in the business of helping the workers to save for the rainy day, to save for pension. So therefore we look at the cleaners on the street are the interface of AEPB. Whatever AEPB plan and do, it immediately impact on what they do on the street. So we started from there and give the cleaners a befitting overall which will make them work harder and be comfortable. The overall, you see, will immediately make the cleaners to be stakeholders. They will also look at a situation whereby a company didn't go and give the director or the heads of department, but to them. And seeing that they will put such cloth, which is very well made, if you look at the material, it will cover them from harsh weather, rain and things, and it will make them work harder. And when they work harder and make the street clean, surely the board will be very happy, the Nigerian society will be happy, and we as ICO pension managers will be very happy.
The society at large have benefited from the gains of this unique partnership we have with organized private sector, NGOs, and the list goes on, in the sense that the society is better off, the environment is cleaner, people are coming to the position of self-realization that this is the only environment we have. You know, in fact that environment right is the first right, even before human right. Because if this environment goes on extinction, or if there is nothing called environment, I doubt if anybody can, stand to claim any fundamental, human right. So the society is better informed, and much more residents are growing into becoming environmental stewards. They now take care of the immediate environment and also try to discourage others that are trying to do things inimical to the environment not to do so, because the environment is a living organism but does not have mouth to say don't do this to me, and that. So all these collaborative efforts are amounting to one thing: the voice of the environment, saying environment too, we have to take care of the environment. We have to be cautious of what we do within the environment, and not just to use it for ourselves, but to leave a legacy, sustain the environment for the use of the next generation. Yes.
This Abuja fine, no be small. Now you make plenty tourists them they like to visit this our city. Because of that, we must to make sure say everywhere they clean every time. Make we dey cut grass and flower them wey don't grow for our house. Throw away dirty and yamayama inside dustbin. No spoil air with black smoke. That one fit cause sickness for body. If you see sock away wey don't full, make you call Abuja Environmental Protection Board quick. No follow them fight oh. Now they work then they do. Now offense to sell market for road, they beg or even do opio for night. If they catch you, you go hear am. Make we join hand together with Abuja Environmental Protection Board to see say Abuja dey clean well. Make we pay our service charge every month to make sure say Abuja dey cha-cha.
Now the FCT United Nations Development Assistance Framework UNDAF 2, they bring on this message.
I want to tell you that it is very, very important for you to keep your environment clean, sanitary wise. If you don't do that, you have exposed yourself to danger of contracting diseases, or even contracting some kind of sicknesses you may not even know how and where it came from. So it is important for you to keep your areas clean, sanitize your areas, remove the refuges around your place, clear off all the nuisances, and live a healthy life, then it will be well with you.
The Abuja Environmental Protection Board has also been enjoying tremendous partnership with the media. Some radio and television stations have taken up the challenge to ensure compliance to environmental laws in the FCT by continuously sensitizing their audience to be environmentally friendly and desist from violating environmental laws.
The partnership between AEPB and the media has been very, very of great importance to the board in particular. The media, especially in the FCT, for example, the election they did of the AUJ, their first point of call was the board. The officials elected visited the board to identify with the board and to show their interest to work with the board, to inform FCT residents of our activities. And since then, it has been of great, tremendous achievement to the board. The media have been doing well. We have a lot of programs that are going on free of charge to the board that the media have taken upon itself. To mention the few, Hot FM in particular, they have jingles they are running on air. Wazobia have always been with us. Their live programs, like Willy Willy programs, and so on. They have gone into grassroots program that will inform FCT residents of the need to keep the environment clean. And on personal relationship with the media, the board have had a very intimate relationship. And for now, the board is achieving because of the backup we have from the media. But we still encourage them to have that community relationship of creating public enlightenment programs that will create the awareness on environmental activities in FCT. And more jingles. I will plead that we need more jingles from various media houses for community service to make sure we sensitize FCT residents to come out in mass to make sure FCT have a clean capital city for our inhabitants.
Right from the time we do the monthly environmental sanitation, Julius Berger has always been there, providing trucks, machinery, and manpower. And of late, they're also coming into community outreach programs of AEPB. Presently, they are they are working on a community football field at Lugbe. That place used to be an ugly site, but Julius Berger is taking it upon itself to develop that place into a football field, which is going to be beneficial to the community, to the Lugbe community. We've also had good working relationship with NGOs, that are into environmental issues. Merelaika too has been up and doing in supporting the efforts of government in environment sustainability in the FCT, even outside the FCT. I remember her being at the forefront of sanitation mobilization, and even this green city shows and campaigns. These are some of the areas such organizations have contributed in sustainable environmental management.
The FCT United Nations Development Assistance Framework, UNDAF 2, an initiative looking to strengthening national capacities in support of national development priorities, came to the aid of AEPB in reaching out to FCT residents by sponsoring several media messages with the aim of enhancing AEPB's capacity in environmental protection.
Now, sometime last year, the UNDAF 2, through the economic planning department of FCTA, magnanimously came in to help sponsor quite a lot of public enlightenment, programs of the AEPB, and that has, graciously helped us to bridge the gap, the disconnect between the residents and AEPB. Before now, there are quite some, conflict areas. The public do not understand what we stand for. They tend to see us as wicked people, insensitive people. But with this, high level of public enlightenment campaigns, supported by UNDAF, through the Economic Planning Department of FCTA, we've been able to, bridge that, disconnect to a good, extent, or to an appreciable level.
The federal government of Nigeria is also lending substantial support to the efforts of AEPB through the Subsidy Reinvestment Program, SURE-P initiative of the Goodluck Jonathan administration. Much needed manpower is provided through the program to the AEPB, and the government pays using funds saved recently from the fuel subsidy removal.
I thank God there's this SURE-P program. For me, it's one of the greatest blessings of the century. It is really bridging the manpower gaps of some critical departments like ours, where you don't need to be overeducated. You can be educated at any level, but at least we can deploy your, simple skills of enforcement, monitoring, and ensuring that things are done right. So the SURE-P for me, it is helping me a lot. As I sit here now, there's an arrangement again to give me more. It makes my job easier. Of course, I'm happy also they are going to focus, and which is my own interest. Like, look now, if you get me 40 on the right, 40 on the left, they will maintain the place. The small money SURE-P is giving, they can maintain themselves because they don't go anywhere to work. They stay in their environment. I'm happy with that arrangement. And the same thing applies, especially the entry and exit ways. That strategy will help us a lot. So you just come out of your house, you go to the streets, you control whatever you want to do. But we want to make sure they operate with dignity. We are going to put these containers are going to be well furnished, properly treated, just like any. It's not just the type of containers you drop, and it's not going to be like that. I can assure you of that. It's going to be dignified, and it's going to be very nice, and they'll be very comfortable, and they'll be proud to say they are going to their place of work. After all, most of these construction companies, they use containers.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration and its secretariats, departments and agencies are perhaps the biggest partner and stakeholder in the support of AEPB's activities. Senator Bala Mohammed believes that Abuja can be a world-class city, not just economically, but also environmentally.
The minister also is always on our neck, honestly. Anytime he travels, that's when I get a breather. But the moment he comes back, I will start watching my phone. I know he's going to call me. And that alone inspires me because I know what he wants and I'll do it. In fact, sometimes he goes to the extreme, say, hit, do this, because he wants it done. And I'm happy since I started working or using these tough measures, he has been in support. And I don't have any problem. And for other departments, I think quite a number of them send complaints, or they want us to do this, to do that, to clear this place, to do. So we'll continue to help. But at the same time, everybody has a responsibility. And sometimes when we try to sensitize an environment, we will require the input of other critical departments. For instance, if you decide to clear the road corridor, the board have just given instructions to people on Airport Road and other critical entry points that 500 meters from the middle of the road down should be free of any encumbrance. It should be green. If you go to Singapore, you will appreciate what I'm telling you about.
With sustained partnership from the FCT administration, corporate organizations, faith-based organizations, NGOs and others, the Abuja Environmental Protection Board is looking to a future where the Abuja environment is willingly protected by its residents.
In the near future, you see some of our services, being broadened. Like we've been on waste management, and sanitation in the early stage of it. In other words, collection and disposal. But in the near future, you see AEPB getting into world best practices of waste to wealth. And I believe that our collaborators are going to, benefit in that their activities and their support are going to be made known, to the public, and it will also serve as a platform for, public image making of such, organizations. It's just a win-win, kind of a thing, yeah.
Join us next week as we examine the new fumigation directives from the FCT administration.